Hello everyone, we hope you're doing great. In this video, we are about to launch Not Life and something goes wrong. But everything happens for a reason and we hope you enjoy this episode.
So we got our dinghy up now. It's a little crowded because I still have to find homes for those tools and those containers. Once the sails are out, we'll have lots of room and still have room for our windlass. And there's the view from the front and my hard-working Mary. Mwah.
So tomorrow we're gonna splash and we're excited. We just got the thingy up and Mike is just gonna fix something up there and we're ready to go.
Mary's gonna hoist me back up there to fix something.
To fix them what?
There.
So we're numbering all the through holes in here before we go in the water. And we're just checking every single through hole. And there is one in the vapors. She's right here. Which is 5 and 6. This is in the galley. And then 7, 8 in the engine room. Or not an engine, not the engine room. Well, by the side of the engine room. And then there is another one in here. This is where the engine room is. And Mike is finishing up with the 13 and 14
inside there,
hole, which are right here in the aft cabin.
So when we're going in the water, we know there's 14 through holes. So when we put the boat in the water, we're going to start at 1 and make sure we don't miss any. To make sure we don't miss any leaks, we're going to be able to go 1 through 14 and see that there's no water coming through, and then we'll be good to start up our engine.
Mike! We're splashing today. How you feeling?
Anxious. We have lots to do. We got stuff everywhere. They just moved our pads, so I have to go down there now and sand the 4 of the spots. They left the last 2 because they didn't want to move the boat. It's very front heavy, bow heavy right now. So I have to go sand the 4 pads and put some undercoat on them and get fenders ready and lines ready and everything off of the ground, like bicycles and tarps and electrical cables and hoses and everything we have in the parking lot, and get ready for them to come with the travel lift.
Woo! I'm so excited. We're finally splashing today. So come with us and enjoy it. People, yeah, we're not back in the water. People, we're not in the water. Something happened, and Mike is gonna explain it to you.
Okay, we put the boat in the water, and they kind of pushed us away from the travel lift, and we had the engine running, and I put it into forward gear, and we didn't start moving forward. So we're just adrift, and I'm fighting with it, you know, putting it neutral forward. I tried reverse and forward, and next thing you know, we're drifting backwards, which I checked later is against the wind. So it seemed like we went into gear in reverse but not forward. So immediately thought, because we swapped the prop for the old prop on here, because our propeller, our gory propeller, is fouled, we had to cut it off basically, and gonna have to get that repaired in the future. So we put a different prop on. So I was pretty sure that I put the propeller on backwards, since the boat went backwards when I was trying to make us go forward. Quickly got rescued by the marina. They got a boat out there and some guys with hooks and pulled us back in after damaging our swim platform when we hit the pier. So they got us back onto the lift and took us back to our spot in the boatyard to diagnose the problem. So the first thing I checked is, do I have the propeller on correctly? It looks just like all the other ones on, just maybe my engine has an opposite rotation. And we tested that out by quickly turning the engine over while it's in forward, and it turned the right way. We put it into reverse and quickly turned it over, and it turned the right way. So puzzled by this, we don't know, is the propeller is clearly on the right way. Why could we go in reverse, and why could we not go forward to get away from the pier? So at this point, I took the coupling apart from the shaft to the transmission again, thinking perhaps there was a key missing on the transmission side, because I put the coupling onto the shaft and I know I put that on right, and I know the key is in place. So pulling that apart to see if there was a separate key on the transmission end, there wasn't. So that's what I just finished doing. So I got online again, and what I'm hoping now it is that there's just low fluid. I thought the transmission fluid was simply to lubricate the gears. My neighbor told me that it runs more like an automatic transmission. So perhaps the low fluid causes it to not go into gear. I don't know this yet. This is very early in the research. If anybody out there knows more about this, please let me know. Just leave a comment below. I'd really like to know more about it. I don't know a lot about transmissions, but this boat has no dipstick on the transmission. So I put the exact amount that the manual says, which is 3/4 liter. I put the exact amount in, and I made a little dipstick to measure that, so that next time I do a fluid change, which was going to be fairly recent, I would know exactly how much to put in there. It's a Perkins 4.154 M for marine, and it's a Hearth transmission, a Hearth 250 3R transmission. My neighbors here tell me it's supposed to be a very good heavy-duty transmission. It's not the cheapy kind. And this is still very early. This all just happened within the last couple of hours, and I just took the coupling apart, which I'll have to put back together now, because that was not the problem. There is no second key on the transmission side. There's only the key on the shaft side, and I know that one's installed correctly, and it's in the exact position as it was when I installed it, so it has not slipped. So that's where we're at right now. I'm trying to find out if that was possibly not the correct amount of transmission fluid, because I was very precise to put 3/4 liter, and why it would just not go into gear. Perhaps it runs like a car transmission and it needs fluid. I don't think it's a hydraulic transmission. I know very little about transmissions. So if you know, please let me know, and I'm going to keep digging here. Thank you. As you can see, we're back in the boatyard, trying to solve the issue quickly in order to schedule another launch date. In the meantime, we might start another major boat project. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned and see what happens next. You might not believe your eyes.